Well, I got to say, it is so lovely to see this cast together on this stage. Of course, this isn't the first time you hit the stage this weekend here at 90s Con, but does it ever blow your mind that 26 years later, you're still talking about this show? Holly?
We're kind of used to it now.
Yeah?
It's going to be weird if it ever does go away.
I have a feeling y'all aren't going anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Surprise! Phoebe, welcome home. It's so good to see you. Hi. Isn't it, Prue? I'm speechless.
Let's go back to Holly meeting your TV sisters for the first time and being introduced to your powers and how you were going to use those powers for good. What do you remember from those first days?
Well, I knew Shannen before the show, so we met when I was 19. And we had actually gone to network with another person to be Phoebe, and the network didn't like her. They didn't like me either.
Get out.
Yeah, so they wanted to keep Shannen and recast the other two. And Shannen and Aaron said, we're not going to do the show without Holly. Forget the other girl. But
Holly is definitely
she was like the sacrificial lamb. They were like, okay, you can get rid of her, but we're going to keep this one. It was a negotiation. And then...
Wow, I cannot imagine anyone else being like,
Exactly.
truly.
Well,
right?
thank you.
Truly cannot imagine that.
Yeah, and actually, I was supposed to be auditioning for Phoebe, which would have never worked.
What?
That would have been so
worked.
weird.
And
have
then
the perfect
Shannen was supposed to be
responses,
Piper.
If you were
Yeah.
Phoebe, that would just...
That would be so
the
wrong.
world would not... It would be...
Trying to imagine you in a mermaid outfit.
Well, wait a second. Well, hold on. wait.
Pasties.
Wait.
Yeah,
What?
So
Phoebe
Shannen and I
became a
had to convince Aaron that we were old enough to play the older characters. He actually asked for our IDs. We slid him across the desk. We're like, well, he saw her as a little girl still, and yep, would have been weird.
Power of 3 will set us free. The power of 3 will set us free. The power of 3 will set us free.
I'm curious, Rose, because you were brought in as the fourth Hallowell sister.
Come on in. Welcome. I'm Phoebe, and this is Piper.
And you are Paige. My name is Paige.
Another P, imagine that.
It's nice to meet you.
What was it like stepping onto the scene in a show that was already...
Super fun.
But I mean...
Not awkward at all.
But a show that's so established, they have a solid fan base. Were there any reservations?
I was a bit of an airhead and didn't think too deeply about it. It was very much in keeping with how Paige was, which was not understanding magic. I didn't understand the magic of the show. I came to understand it, like Paige came to understand magic. I didn't understand the power of the show or the interaction with fans. Paige didn't either. Like, we came to understand that. So the growth was... I mean, had I sat and really thought about it, I mean, I couldn't. There were so many dimensions and strange things happening behind the scenes that I didn't know about. I could not have imagined them, so I didn't know. I'd also never been really on a TV set like in that way. I didn't know how that whole world functioned. It's extremely different than film.
Gramps? Phoebe, going back to bed, honey. Go on.
Jennifer, you played the beloved matriarch, the grandmother of this family. We adored you.
Thank you. You want to know my story, how I got on Charmed?
Yeah, how did you land the part?
I had to audition. They had an open call, open auditions for this part of a witch. And so when I went to the audition, there were all these actresses, they're all dressed in black. And when I went into the audition, the scene was comforting my granddaughter. And so I was very, trying to be very sweet because she just lost the love of her life. And, I was trying to be very sweet and say, oh, darling, it's okay. And then they said, no, do it again. But, just throw it away. Don't comfort her. And I said, oh, please, get over yourself. It's just a game. You can always find another man. Yeah. And so I got the part. It was originally for 2 episodes, a 2-parter job. And then, anyway, I wound up doing about 2 a year for 8 years, so I was very lucky.
Oh,
And,
well, they were lucky to
we
have
were very
you,
lucky.
Shannen.
Yeah, thank you. And then, you know, all these years it's still going, and I'm just amazed. And people call me Grams. Everywhere I go, hi Grams, and I thought, well, I don't know if they say that because they don't know my name or if they just Grams. But I always say, okay, that's okay. I don't mind as long as you don't call me Grandma.
Yes, Grams it is. Grams it is,
And
Jennifer.
so, it is my pleasure to have been a part of this wonderful show and working with everyone, and it's been one of the highlights of my life, I guess, really.
That's
theatrically,
beautiful.
I mean. Theatrically.
Now, Brian, is it true that you auditioned to be Prue's love interest and not Piper's?
Well, I think I was auditioning for
For Andy. Yeah, can you imagine Brian as Andy?
With that mustache, 100%.
Oh, maybe.
Airbag
Maybe.
BK. Yeah, I didn't quite ring.
So how were roles reversed in a sense, and how did you end
I
up
don't know,
as...
you know, I mean, I had auditioned for spelling a million times before this, been in the room, did it. They're like, can you come back in the afternoon at like 2 o'clock? And I'm like, I got to make $100 today. My wife's going to kill me. I can't go back to the job site. Like, all right, I'll go, right? Come back at 2. Hey, come back at 6. I'm like, I can't even do a half day. I'm like, all right. And I go in and I do it for Leo. And it's, it's this soft, lovey kind of scene, just nice chemistry, possible love interest type of thing. And so I do it. And so now I had met Aaron a million times. And so in my strategy, I'm going to walk in and be like, Mr. Spelling, it's good to see you again.
Uh-huh.
And he'll be like,
Still.
oh, hey,
yeah, I
Brian,
remember
it's great to see you. And so I walk in, hello, Mr. Spelling, it's great to see you again. And he looks down at my picture and the thing, and he goes, hello, Brian, it's nice to meet you.
That's a punch to the gut right
And I'm
there.
just like, Hollywood, word, thing, kid. I'm like, this shit, right? Hollywood, it all. He's like, are you ready to go? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. No questions. I'm like, no, let's go. Now I'm reading like this. Yeah, like, and I just became, I don't care. I hate this. And I just was like, kind of like an angry read. I finished. I looked up. I'm like, anything else? And they're like, no. I go, okay, thank you very much. And I walked out.
Good for you.
Just pissed. And I wasn't even halfway home, and I got paged, and they're like, you got it. And I'm like,
And that's how it happened.
But that also means that on some level, like, you were always supposed to be that.
Yeah.
Because no matter what you did, no matter what, like, how angry or upset you were, and like, I've never seen Leo angry or upset.
I know.
Like, the role was meant for you. And I think a lot of times in this industry, it's not every time, but there's a lot of times where a role finds you. Like, I can't imagine anyone playing Paige other than you. Like, that was always your role. Piper was, there's no Piper if it wasn't for HMC.
But I think that's also why this show is so wildly successful, is because the casting was so spot on. And I'm curious, at what point, Brian and Holly, did you realize these two, Piper and Leo, this was a couple that audiences were just falling in love with. They were obsessed with
over.
you.
I don't know. I mean, we had such a long, hard road. Like a long, hard road.
You did.
Yeah, I guess you were just destined to be stuck with me
And
forever.
thank goodness.
But
Thank
no, because
God.
Piper was so unlucky in love. I'm sure that's what they like to call it. We went through so many guys that I was like, she's a little bit of a hoe. A little bit of a hoe there. And I actually had to have the conversation with them.
too.
Like, can we settle her down a bit? It's a lot. It's like, hi, nice to meet you. Want to make out? Let's go. Just like,
I
if there was a
loved you
new
the-
guy.
Sounds like a dream job.
And you still loved me,
that's right. I love it. I forgive you.
despite my checkered past. How dare you?
I believe now they would call that the body count.